What is up, guys? It is Connor here with my first ever Black Ops 4 Zombies video. In this video today, I'm going to show you guys an in-depth look of how to get free doors on Black Ops 4 Zombies, because when I looked up the video on how to get it, I couldn't find anything, so I figured I'd be the one to do it. You're going to need to know the 9 Easter eggs, so I've left a link in the description to Jolts' guide for it. And the maps that you can get the free doors with are 9, Voyage of Despair, Blood of the Dead, Classified, Dead of the Night, and Ancient Evil. The free doors that we gain from this will work on all of those. So after you've selected normal 9, you're going to want to move straight into your class setup. For the class, I would run Quick Revive, Dying Wish, Time Slip, and then Stamina Up as your modifier. You could maybe take out Dying Wish or Time Slip and put in Winter's Wail or another perk that you prefer running, but this is what I would recommend doing. Your special weapon is going to want to be the Scepter of Ra, so you can revive yourself, Wraithfire for your equipment, and then the Strife for your starting weapon, which I'll show you class setup for. And for your elixirs, you're going to want to run Equipment, Aftertaste, Temporal Gift, and Stock Option. And if you want to run Mega Elixirs, or if you want to run Talisman, feel free, but you shouldn't need any of those in order to get the free doors. Now, the ideal loadout we're going to want for this Easter egg is the Hades or another powerful LMG and AR, the Scorpion or the Wonder Weapon, and then you're going to want Homunculuses. Here's my Strife class setup on screen. And then here's my Hades class setup. You'll see me use this a lot throughout the hour, 20 minutes I spend doing this Easter egg. I think it's the best gun outside of the Helion Salvo. And with that out of the way, let's move straight into rounds 1 through 5. Before we get into rounds 1 through 5 and the entire gameplay, I want to show you guys a couple strategies that will help you speed up the run. First off, if you ever get a fire sale from the crowd, make sure to pop your temporal gifts if you have it, and then run straight to the closest mystery box. There, you want to swap out weapons, assuming you're in the early game, just continually like I do. So I get the SWAT, instantly open it again, and I'm going to swap it out again for a different gun. If you're in the early game, you want to hold on to your Strife until you need to drop it because it's already pack-a-punched. And then obviously we're looking for the Homunculuses, the Hades, or the Scorpion if you can get it this early. Now, if you get a full power-up from the crowd, what you're going to want to do is pull out your special weapon and try not to get any of those like free respawn 90 kills. You're going to want to get actual kills with your special weapon, as I'm doing in the video. And this is because you're either going to need your special weapon level 3 by round 17 for the Danu step, or you're going to need it for the Gladiator boss fights. So diving right into round 1, first thing you're going to want to do is get the challenges by cutting the rope, and then you're going to want to knife the first 5 of the 6 zombies, and specifically the 5 zombies that are walking faster. There's only going to be like 1 or 2 that are really walking faster, but you're going to want to leave the slowest zombie left. That's why I'm looking around. I see that I have a slow zombie left, so I knife that 5th one. You're going to open the door for Ra, and then you're going to want to summon the first champion. Getting the champions down round 1 is crucial for eventually helping you get the Hades and the other stuff, because when you kill these bosses, your thumb or your crowd affinity is going to go up a decent chunk as soon as you kill the first boss. So as you can see, I start knifing the boss here. You can shoot it if you'd like, but I prefer to knife it. I grab that, and then we're going to go straight into the second one. And then once you're finished here, I get the 2 bosses instead of the 1, and I don't get tigers here, so always knife the jumper, or I think it's brawler. I don't know why I paused the video here. But you're going to want to knife the brawler first, because not only does he have less health, but his jumping attacks I find a bit more annoying than the axe attacks. So in general, just do that one first. Then you're going to move on to the axe guy. The key with the axe guy is to take your time. You're going to want to rush to get through it, because you're going to be like, oh, I got to be under an hour. But I promise you, if you take your time here, you're going to see that my time at the end, even though I'm wasting, 20, 30 seconds here, taking my time, making sure I live, it's going to pay off in the end. So 26 health, don't be afraid to run away. I still only have 1 zombie on super slow, so that's why I'm able to do this. And then eventually here, I knew he was low, so I knife him down, collect the head, and now you can see that you already have 3 doors open on this map, and you're going into round 2. And if you got knife count, you got the knife kills, to start, and you're already going to have about 8 or 7 knife kills to start off, which is huge. Now round 2 with decent crowd affinity. If you're lucky, you can get a power-up to spawn. I didn't in my game, unfortunately. So we're just going to go into now our challenges of the headshot. If you got knife, you can finish it up. And if you got equipment, again, do it right here on round 2. And one thing I want to mention with the challenges is you want to, even after the Strife, you want to be on pace to get your challenges done. Because the 9th reward, or aka completing all the challenges, because there's 9 challenges, is the Hades LMG, which is crucial to getting a good time and defeating the boss fight, and in general going through rounds really fast. So you're going to see I get my headshots and I move on to equipment kills. So I just knife the zombies because I know I'm not going to be able to get the 6 equipment kills. And then this moves right into what I want to explain now. Getting the 2x is absolutely huge. This is why you're going to bring your temporal gift into the game. And as you can see with my 2x, this is going to allow you to get more points with your knifing. So you see me shaking my head no for the carpenter because that's my first crowd power-up. What you're going to want for your crowd power-ups is those fire sales for mystery boxes. And now the reason for that is because you can save a lot of time throughout the Easter egg if you get our ideal loadout of a Hades, Homunculus, and the Scorpion as soon as possible. But since we're not getting fire sales, and I've popped Temporal now to get my 2x, make sure before you pick up your 2x, you pop Temporal Gift. What I'm going to do is go back into knifing the zombies with the Strife. The Strife will give you 300 points during a 2x for every zombie that you knife, and it's a one-hit knife. And you're on 9, which is a relatively easy map to train the zombies on. So you can see how my points are racking up. I'm on round 3 with 5,890 points. I've already killed 2 gladiators, and I have 3 doors open on the map. So now moving into round 4, you're going to see I get a lucky bonus points right at the end of my 2x here to get me 1,000 points. And then as the 2x fades away, you're going to want to focus back to your challenges. So I get my equipment kills with the insta-kill. Once I get all 6 of those, go claim your challenge. And then ideally, what you're going to want to get is to kill 10 zombies with the special weapon. If you get the blade trap, you're going to have to burn 1,500 points, which is not the end of the world because if you got lucky and got the 2x early like I did, you're sitting on 10k in round 5, again with 3 doors open. But since I got special weapons, what I can do is just wait now for round 5. And now that round 5 has started, you're going to see me start training the zombies in a circle. And this is because you don't want to actually kill the zombies, if that makes any sense. In this game, when you pull out your special weapon, you get the 90 points for the kill and the zombies respawn. So right there, boom. I got about probably 13 kills with the special weapon, and all those zombies are going to respawn. But I still got all 90 points for each of those kills. So now the challenge is done. I have my Strife. I still have a lot of zombies to work with in this round. And I have 11,000 points to now rework myself around the map and go ahead and get to the other side to start doing the next gong to open up Pack-a-Punch. Walk through the bottom and around to the Odin Temple. Buy the door out back to the middle. I didn't show it here, but I totally bought the door back out to the middle. And then summon the Gladiator and just beam him down with your pistol as I'm doing in the video here. There's no point in even trying to knife it at this point. It's round 5. And then summon the next Gladiator on the other side. You're going to see me look for the shield part. And a crucial thing with the Tigers is that you do not want to let them get close to you, so shoot them as soon as you freaking see them, because if the Tigers hit you, they're going to move your thumb a tick down, even for just hitting you in the back, which I have a great example of here. And then you're going to want to claim the Tiger head. You're going to see I miss it, but I'll show you guys that I do buy the door out here. Buy both doors out, so that way you have the whole map open. And then once you claim the Tiger head, go ahead and head towards Pack-a-Punch. So now, the rest of round 5 is incredibly crucial for allowing you to speed run the rest of this Easter egg. So to start, what you're going to want to do is open the basement doors you haven't yet. In my game, it was the Zeus Temple door and then that door that I'm running up right now. And then you're going to want to activate Pack-a-Punch. Do not look for the head first like I did. Look for Pack-a-Punch, activate Pack-a-Punch. And then you're going to want to grab the acid trap parts in the basement. So you'll see I grab the chain first, and then I grab the wheel. So now that you have the 3 parts for the acid trap, what I go into next is shooting the bowl of fire and picking up the skull that we're going to use the acid trap on. I've memorized all 4 spawn locations, so you're going to see me run around to each of the 4 locations just in case you guys forgot them. Mine ended up being in the Odin Temple. And then once you have the head pickup, do not feel a rush to go upstairs and instantly smelt it, especially because I don't even have enough points, and I'd be surprised if you guys do at this point in your game. Go ahead and build the shield first with the 3 parts, and then start looking for your skull. The earlier the round that you can look for the skull, not only does it give you more time to look for it because you're in round 5 instead of like round 9, but also the zombies are a lot less damaging and they're less likely to be sprinting. You can see I got lucky and found mine within about 10 seconds of looking around. So I quickly knife down these zombies, grab the bonus points, and then I get my skull for the actual Easter egg step. You've got the skull for the actual Easter egg. Go ahead and craft your acid trap. You can see I've gotten a few kills in between. The acid trap costs 1,500, same as the spike trap for if you get that challenge. Place the head down, go ahead smelt it. Thing I'd like to point out is to not do it when there's zombies about to run under it, because you do not want the round to end yet. All right, let's move into 6 through 10. So now that we have ourselves pretty set up for the Easter egg, you're going to want to spend the next couple rounds just spinning mystery boxes with the fire sales. Don't actually spin the real mystery box. Hold on to your points for perks. And I'm going to show you something that happens in my game that might happen in your game as well when you're trying to get the Circuit's Kiss from the crowd, which to complete that step, you need max crowd affinity for a whole round. And you're going to see here shortly that a tiger hits me on my shield in the back, and that still knocks down my crowd affinity. But this is exactly why you want to keep track of what challenges you're on. So I knew that my challenges would get 9 kills with the Brazen Bull, and I knew that since the tiger only hit me once, if I completed the challenge, I could move my thumb up again. So now what I do here in response to that is literally just get 9 kills with the Brazen Bull. So that's why it's important to just keep track of what challenges you're on. If you had the survive a round in the temple, then I would have done that in round 7 to try to get my crowd affinity back up. It's because by round 8, you're going to want to slide yourself through the fire to get the poop. So after I survive the next round because I got hit by the tiger, you're going to see the crowd blesses me with the gift from Circuit. And then you're just going to want to take that down to Daniel. And if you get it a round later, I'll show you guys what I did in between round 7 and round 8 while I had max crowd affinity. Because it's important to get this stuff done too while you're in between rounds 6 through 10. So things now I would be doing in this order would be getting points first. I had the 2x here, so I took advantage of that and killed a lot of zombies with my Peacekeeper and getting headshots along with the knife. And you're going to want to get perks as well. You'll see I hold a zombie here in round 7 just in case, you know, the fire spawns next round, I'm unable to get it. Or just, I make it convenient for myself as possible. So I went ahead and got my perks. And another thing you're going to want to be doing, which I didn't do in my game, which you guys should definitely do in these earlier rounds, if you can get the Scorpion in these earlier rounds, which you should be able to if you don't get hit by the tiger like I did, is grind up the skull. I did it in round 11, as I'm showing you here now. I only had 1 zombie left, so it wasn't much of a big deal. And you can totally do this in any round before round 13, which is when you need to get all the stuff in the mixing pot in the bottom of Zeus. But just go ahead, hold on to the last zombie, and then shock the thing 3 times with a full charge of your Scorpion. And if you have the last zombie like I do, he'll get hit by the charge, and you won't even have to worry about him. For the fire specifically, I have no strategy, but just make sure you get your Scorpion before round 8 so you can do the fire in round 8. Because if you have to do the fire in round 10 while you're trying to get the piece of wood, it's just, you know, extra steps you have to do in 1 round, and it's easier to try to do like 1 step around. Now the reason you want to do the fire step in round 8, slide through the fire step, is because a brawler spawns in on round 8, and what I like to do is kill as many of the normal zombies as I can before they start sprinting. And then as soon as I collect this poop, you'll see I instantly gun down the brawler, and my crowd affinity goes from that as far as down can go, and it goes up a decent amount just by killing that brawler. So now you won't have multiple poop thrown into the arena and potentially lose extra points. So now if you've done the poop step like I did in my game and have yet to get a decent gun from the mystery box, I would not consider the Peacekeeper a good gun. You're going to want to go buy the auger off the wall, and I'll eventually show it in my gameplay. The auger I consider like sort of like a pocket Hades or just a less ammo Hades. Both of them do a very significant amount of damage, especially if you have the auger with double high cal like I do. I believe I also have double FMJ. So I ended up running the auger for a majority of my game until I eventually got my knife challenge done. And also don't forget to get your Scorpion. I kind of forgot about it for a round, which is, I mean, it's okay because I ended up grinding the skull in round 11. But try to stay on top of everything. This probably added a couple extra minutes to my run. In the end, it won't matter because you're going to have plenty of time. But you could save a couple minutes of your life by remembering to get the Scorpion. The final thing you need to do for these set of rounds is grab the piece of wood. You just saw the axe throw where he got it in my game. Make sure you give yourself a clear runway to grab it. Don't try to kill yourself just by grabbing the wood as fast as you can. And then bring that wood straight down to the Odin Temple. And now with that done, let's move on to rounds 11 through 17. So the first thing you're going to want to remember in rounds 11 through 17 is that you're doing the Easter egg. Sometimes it's easy to get lost in doing challenges like I do right here, getting the 9 charge shots for the Death of Ryan. Just make sure that you're on top of it. At round 13, you're going to want to move the wood over to the bowl in the Zeus temple, which I didn't show. And then at round 14, if you do the first step fast enough, moving the wood over, you're going to want to move that over to the Danu temple. Otherwise, throughout these rounds, just complete miscellaneous steps. If you're able to get back up to get some fire sales from the crowd, do those. Make sure you pack-a-punch your Death of Orion. You only need to do that once. Make sure you pack-a-punch the auger, or if you got a better gun than the auger, make sure you pack-a-punch that to the firebomb status. You should have enough points to be able to fully pack-a-punch it and then spend 1,500 trying to get firebomb. And then here I'm going to show you guys real quick how to kill the Blightfather if it spawns in your game. Spam that Death of Orion. If you guys don't know, if you use the shoot and reload button at the same time, you'll spam Death of Orion.
You will not defeat us.
The two most important things you're going to want to do in these rounds is level up your special weapon. If you pull it out at the start of every round and use it until it runs out, you should be able to get it back at the start of the next round. And on top of that, do the 9 challenges. If you're unlucky like I got in this game and you're stuck with the auger, you're not going to want to use this for the boss fight or some later steps. So make sure you complete these challenges so you can get the free Pack-a-Punch Hades. Another important benefit to completing these challenges is after you complete your 7th challenge, you're going to get a free 5th perk. Mine was Deadshot Dealer in this gameplay, which is probably one of the 3 worst perks you can get, but you guys are definitely going to get a different perk that can help you out later. So if you followed the same steps I did of putting the wood in Odin at round 10, then moving the wood over to the bowl at round 13, and then by round 14 putting the stuff from the bowl in the Danu temple, at round 17 you're going to be ready to start the first temple stuff. So make sure you either have your special weapon at level 3, which you can see is what I'm focusing on right now, because you're not going to get homunculuses. If you have homunculuses, you can just start this instantly. I'm lucky there, I got another full power up to be able to level my special weapon at 3. And then once you get that, you're going to want to focus on training the zombies in a big loop, so that way if you miss your initial firebomb, which 90% of the time you'll be able to get the first firebomb boost over the zone as long as you train the zombies right in front of it and then right on top of it, you're just going to want to do a big loop if you're unable to get it. Once you do eventually get the firebomb over the zone, throw your homunculuses as soon as you're stepping on it, or pull out your level 3 scepter and place it on the ground. And then after 10 or so seconds, I like to hold X2, I'm not sure if that even matters, but after about 10 to 15 seconds, you're going to pop your stock option, and then just proceed with your normal steps of shooting the spot. If you have Wraith Fires, still throw those on the ground to help you out. Then you have homunculuses, obviously throw those. You get, with the max ammo, you'll get your equipment refresh, so don't worry about burning all your equipment.
Has come due. I am so... Back! Danu has been appeased.
So now pretty much past this point, I don't have a lot of extra strategies or tips outside of just actually doing the Easter egg like normal. I'll show you guys a couple of things I do in my game, and I'm not sure if it's common practice that everyone does. Like, so for example, as soon as I complete Danu, I look out that one just to make sure the first target that you have to shoot for the raw step is not there. But otherwise, just make sure you shoot all 4 gladiators with your Scorpion by spamming that right trigger or R2 and then X or whatever reload is on PS5. And it's the same on PC too. You can just spam shoot and reload. I'll show you guys real quick me shooting one of those gladiators like that. And then once you have all 4, I can show you a step at raw that helps me out a lot. So here is me shooting a gladiator in my game with the Scorpion. This is why you want to hold on to the Scorpion throughout the whole game, even if the Halion Salvo is a much more damaging weapon, which it is. But the Scorpion is just, it's like the gladiator melter. Make sure you stand next to the gladiator and wait until that you see that orb, and after that you'll get the audio cue that you're doing it right. And you just got to do that 3 more times. So once you're doing the Temple of Ra step where you hold X on that symbol, just so an FYI, you can't do it during a gladiator round. What I like to do is I hold up the photo of the guide of what each steps mean. I have a notepad in my phone with the photo, and then right below it, I write down the order as well. And I'll show that photo in just a second here once I show you guys that and pause my game and you can see the order I got. And I don't have any strategy in particular for completing this raw step. Just make sure you use your Death of Orion on the gladiators. And if you can, try to like solo out the zombies and make sure that you're not shooting multiple at the same time, or else you could mess up the order of what you need to do.
It is the last thing you will ever see!
Alright, and you'll see me killing my last zombies here in the correct order. And now let's move on to Zeus. So after you've completed both of those raw challenges and you move on to Zeus, you hold X on the challenge podium in the middle, and then you get teleported into the basement. The first thing you want to do is go to the closest screw, which you'll see I totally passed by a screw initially just to go to this one, which is unnecessary completely. And you're going to want to shoot it with your shield just like all the other YouTuber guides do. And then you don't want to get yourself caught like this. I tried to make an effort going for the shield here and I missed it. So that's essentially why I got down, is because I completely missed the shield. But the strategy that you're going to want to do is to throw your Wraithfire or your homunculuses on the ground and then shoot the screws. Do not try to like keep circling the area and shoot the screws, because you'll see that's why I get down a second time, is because I'm too focused on the screws. Make sure you either have something to distract the zombies, like throwing a Wraithfire or homunculus, or you just bring it down to one zombie before you shoot the screws. More specifically on that last zombie, you're going to want to hold on to your gladiators if at all possible. The gladiators are what charge the kilowatt rods extremely fast. You only have to kill 2 gladiators in each zone to fully charge the kilowatt rod. So try to hold on to your gladiators if you can. So now you'll see in my game I pick up the Hades, but if you already have the Hades or you didn't complete all 9 challenges, you can still use kilowatt in the auger. And then what you're going to want to do is, with the gladiators that you've saved, try to lure them into the zones that have these like wood pillars, the 2 zones that are trapped in between 2 gates of fire with no escape, because these ones are going to be harder to do. So you can see I fully charge a rod just like that by killing 2 gladiators. And then because there's no fire in odd number rounds, I'm going to eventually focus on the exact opposite side, this wooden pillar zone right here. If you have the homunculus at this point, I also like to use it to make the strategy a bit easier, especially because luring the beast sometimes is really hard. So I make sure that my kilowatt is ready, I throw the homunculus in, and then I just do 1 tap. And then you'll see I get rid of the kilowatt zombies and also kill the gladiator before the homunculus does, and those will charge the rod. So you can see I fully charge the rod just by literally throwing the homunculus. Once you have all 4 rods fully charged and you've pressed X on any of those challenge podiums, what I like to do with the Scepter of Ra is I initially like to stay in the middle here, like you're seeing in my gameplay. And then once too many gladiators, tigers, and all that spawn in, I try to roam around through the middle parts. I seem to always get this like challenge on an even number round, and I'm not sure if there's no fire on an odd number round. I want to say there's fire no matter what, but if you can get it to where there's no fire, then you're going to be absolutely free on this challenge, because you can just keep running in circles and keep slowing down the beast with the Scepter of Ra. But just hold down right trigger on the Scepter of Ra and keep trying to pace yourself the way you don't get hit by too many things. After about a minute or a minute and a half of doing this, you're going to get to a point where the gladiators and tigers are too overwhelming for the Scepter of Ra. Because it's not exactly the strongest weapon, but this is where we're going to use it. You just want to throw it on the ground once you're getting low or once you're getting overwhelmed, and then just sit in it, and you can use the homunculus to distract the gladiators and tigers. You can also just shoot them with your gun. And as long as you're getting kills, the Scepter of Ra zone will never go away. So you can keep reviving yourself without wasting any bleed outs. You'll get all your perks back. And the gladiators can be distracted by the homunculus, or you can just be frying them with the Death of Orion. Eventually you'll get the white flash, and at that point you can run out of your Scepter of Ra, because zombies won't spawn for a brief period. And then I popped equipment in my game. I would recommend you do the same if you have it, because you're going to want to refill your homunculuses. And then we are moving on now to the raw steps. For Odin, I only have a couple of things that I really think are worth explaining. For one, in the video here, I'm showing you guys me hitting the perfect alignment on the Death of Orion shots. They're also in Jolts' guide, which I'm hoping you guys have watched, or you've watched some other guide for how to complete the Easter egg. And then when you're in the Odin lockdown, make sure you use your homunculuses, both homunculuses in the first and second lockdown, because you get a max ammo that refills it. And if you have a max ammo still in your challenge podium, you can use both as well in lockdown number 3 and just get it right back. And then another strategy that I think is worth explaining is if you haven't bought too many shield repairs, it is now a good time to just start burning shield ammo because you can afford more shield repairs. Another thing that I don't see a lot of people do during this lockdown is to use this acid trap on the left side to your advantage. It only costs 1,500, which you'll get back pretty fast during this lockdown. The trap lasts for 30 seconds, and it is there as soon as the game starts. You don't have to build it using those acid trap parts. So go ahead and get some good uses out of it, so that way you only have to worry about 2 sides of the map for about 30 seconds at a time. And now finally, I'll show you guys some boss fight strategies. One thing I'd like to mention before you guys get in the boss fight is that if you have the rocket launcher, make sure you have another gun that's not the Death of Orion, because I just attempted this boss fight recently using the Death of Orion and rocket launcher, and it is impossible to hit the elephant's heart with like just those 2 guns. And you might lose your shield as well, which is your most accurate gun of the 3 in that scenario. So just a heads up for you guys. The boss fight, just like these temples, I don't have too many strategies for that haven't already been said before. I would recommend just preserving your ammo and preserving your homunculuses until you see your first max ammo. Once you see the first max ammo drop, then I like to go crazy on the zombies and the gladiators. So right there you see I got my first max ammo. So now I'm a little bit less concerned about my Hades ammo. And I would recommend holding on to the Death of Orion ammo if you have the Hades and Death of Orion just like I do. The Hades has a lot of ammo, and honestly still kind of shreds the gladiators in round 22, and even like if you get in this boss fight like round 25, it'll still shred the gladiators. So feel free to go crazy after you get that first max ammo, but preserve your ammo otherwise. And now the final strategy I have for this video is with the elephant, make sure you always have a homunculus on the ground at all times when he spawns in. So you're going to see I have my homunculus ready, and then once I see him moving towards me, I throw it on the ground. And now I'm focusing that side armor. You can use this middle piece to your advantage because he can't charge you through the middle piece. And then I know in my head, homunculus lasts for about 15 seconds, so you'll see me here getting ready to throw one down. One is going to pop up right there, perfect. So I know that homunculus is running out, so I get ready to throw my second one. And then once you've thrown 2, you got to be aware of where the max ammo is, because you're going to need to pick it up, or you can use equipment if you have it ready. I do not have equipment ready, so that's why I'm now looking for this max ammo. And also make sure that you have popped aftertaste after this first elephant spawns, because you will not spend more than 5 minutes for the rest of this boss fight. I didn't pop aftertaste initially, but I did for the second elephant, even though I probably should have just popped it for the first elephant. So just make sure there's always a homunculus on the ground, shoot the armor, then the heart, and you'll be good for both elephants.
The worst monster in this arena. Fury has fallen!
And once you've killed that second elephant, congratulations, you now have free doors on 6 of the 8 maps in Black Ops 4 Zombies. If there's any Sentinel artifacts in any of those maps, you have to activate those first to get some of the doors. But otherwise, any buyable door, you now have it free. I want to give a huge shout out to Jolts for having what I would consider the best Easter egg tutorial, and just helping me personally with all the Easter eggs that I've done in this game. And stay tuned for our next video.